All right, I got baby duties today. La boo boo. So I'm gonna take my kid to the park so he gets some outdoor time, and then I'm gonna go get some lunch with him. Okay, take all this extra stuff. Hello, Rocco. What are you doing standing on this little drum? Okay. Hey folks, today the sound is going to be a little bit not great because I forgot my mic thing and I'm watching my kid today. I got him all day, so it's daddy time. But I wanted to talk about finances. You know, speaking of kids, you kind of need money to pay for things and the balance with art. It's incredibly difficult. As much as I'd like to just be an artist, you do need money. Sometimes money is like breathing. You need a little bit of space so that you have leeway to make your art, but you got to pay for things. I mean, like my kids want to do, gymnastics and, you know, taekwondo or whatever it is. But at the end of the day, it's such a fine balance. Unless if you're independently wealthy, some people are just really rich and they can spend their lives pondering and thinking about, the more existential things in life. Unfortunately, for the rest of us, we have to figure out a way to balance our finances and our passions. So for me, it's always been, a balance of I'm making a film with my daughter right now, and that's completely for the art. And it takes place over 4 years. It's called Another Life. But we're in the middle of it. I was able to raise some money and make that the first half of the year, but now I'm looking for a studio job. And, it's not always, with artists, it's really great to be stubborn because it means it'll be pure and true and with the greatest of intentions. At the same time, you know, uh, it's the entertainment business, and it is unfortunately a business, and people do need to make money, and it's one of the most expensive art forms. It's so expensive. There's so many people involved to make a film. It's the most expensive art form. So people need to find a way to give money but also get money back in a profit. So, these days I've been traversing. I've been doing one for them and one for me. And I think the biggest challenge is, how do you find commercial projects that still resonate with you? So my goal has always been, can I find an aspect of this job that's very personal to me and that I could say something with, so I can service all the entertainment aspects and the fun stuff in the films, to get audiences in the door, but then at the same time find an aspect, whether it's about family or maybe there's a father and son relationship in the film, or there's a bigger philosophical question I'd like to address. If there's even an iota of that, I really let that be my guiding light and North Star when I'm making the project. That helps me tremendously mentally, for me to understand why I'm on Earth making art or film and television. I just did a show called Chief of War. It's about Polynesians, and it's based in the 1700s. The episodes I directed are entirely in Olelo, Native Hawaiian tongue. That was incredible because, I was helping tell this story about an underserved community, which is Polynesians. They don't get to have their own stories. And here we have this TV show with Apple and Jason Momoa that is completely in Hawaiian. but then there's action, and that action bolsters the commerciality of it. But ultimately, my guiding light for that was the servicing of the Polynesians, and then secondly, it's a story about family and sacrifice for one's duty, and that's what kept me going. You know, for something like Pachinko, which was also Apple, it's based on a huge book, but it's also like the story of my grandmother. You know, and in Pachinko, the main lady, she goes from, you know, Korea to Japan and is an immigrant. So it's a revert, like a different kind of immigration story. And I found a lot of merit in that. So I was telling that story for my grandmother. So I could find aspects of the shows that were commercial that I really could latch onto philosophically, emotionally, and with an overall like life's purpose. But you know, I hope this helps. You know, I'm on YouTube back because I've gained all this knowledge for the last 20 years, and I've started a family, and I feel like if any of this insight is helpful, like that's all I want to do here. I'm not like this channel, me coming back to YouTube is not for me to become popular or whatever. I just literally want to give you whatever I've learned and what I continue to learn. I'm by no means perfect or a know-it-all, but if there's any way I can add value to your journey and your art, that's like a true honor for me. But I gotta watch my son for the rest of the day. And thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow.